Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bunch of Nuts podcast. This is Dan here at Cass. Ohio State, man, they got it done against the Bruins. That was that was an easy win. I don't think it was a serious game, right? It was a lot of the younger guys played the majority of the game. James Peoples scored 2 touchdowns. He hasn't scored any touchdowns. He's been like our third string back. Um,
Three running backs rushed over 7 yards a carry.
we broke 200, I believe, too.
Yep.
I know because you were keeping like stats of that. Um, I do have to address the elephant in the room. I It was the end of the third quarter, and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. We didn't go to the bathroom during halftime. My wife refuses to go in the porta potties in the student section, so we had to go all the way down. And I'm like, oh, we'll just beat the crowd and stuff. And you would think, they're just gonna fair catch it, but Lorenzo Styles, man, had other plans, and I missed history. First time in 15 years, he returns a kickoff for they Buckeyes return a kickoff for a touchdown. Unbelievable, Cass. You actually saw it. I just want to get your thoughts on it because you had eyes on it.
I was just so excited for Lorenzo Styles, man. Like he had a hell of a game
He did. He was everywhere.
altogether. Um, but knowing a kid that he's a local kid, played 20 minutes up the road from my house. I got to cover a couple of his games. Um, obviously covered Sonny, covered Jack, Ty Hamilton, all them guys. You know, seeing what he's been through in his college collegiate career, went to Notre Dame, transferred to Ohio State, switched positions, didn't look that great last year. This year he's looked up and down, had a couple bad games, but more good games than bad games. And just for him to cap off a 100-yard touchdown, first touchdown, the kickoff return and touchdown in 15 years, and then the first person to greet him on the sidelines was Sonny. It was special, man. Like their dad, was a legend and a Buckeye captain for the Buckeyes. So thinking ahead for this weekend, both of them going to be honored for Senior Day. It's going to be emotional for the Styles family, because in reality, I don't think Lorenzo is going to be a key player in the next level. I think I think he'll play, but I think he's going to be one of those players that bounce around for about 5 to 6 years. Um,
But that's
and you,
okay.
but you can honestly see him playing for the Columbus Aviators. He could be one of those
He
kids.
could be a special team, like he could be like a Matthew Slater, like a Ebner guy.
Yeah.
Um, I just he has to be, I think, the returner after that. Correct? Like is I
Well,
think he does
him and Ennis have been the returners all year. They just
in his punt returns. Lorenzo has to, I think, handle the kick returns. I mean, I also like having experience back there. Um, Lorenzo Styles in his career, I just want to bring up the stat. He has either returned a kick or a punt a total of 5 times in his career. And I know the stats are a little inflated because he had a 100-yard kick return, but even without like if you take the average number of his punt return and kickoff return, so like basically anytime he returns it, he's averaging 42.8 yards a return. He had this year he had a
that's
36-yard punt return.
I mean, I said at
2022.
the beginning of the year I'd like to see him be the kickoff returner and the punt returner, and
He's
you
got
know,
something. He's got
yeah,
something. He's got a
obviously it
good
showed
feel
him.
for it.
But it's gonna be nice. Now we know that we can rely on Lorenzo moving forward when it comes to the Michigan game next week, the Big Ten championship against Indiana, and then the playoffs. Like we know, like if they kick it to number 3, we're going to get good field position.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice added wrinkle. I mean, it makes me a lot more confident in the team's special teams, and that's the big win. Like, on
Didn't he have the big punt return this year with the throwback?
yes,
Ennis threw it back.
yes, that was it. Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's where I'm like, he has a 36-yard punt return this year. You're right. That was the Minnesota game.
Yeah, it was
Um,
a throwback.
it was. Um, Special teams has been a really nice wrinkle. Has had a really nice wrinkle. Caden Curry had a punt block too. Like
It
it wasn't
wasn't a punt block; it was punt right to him.
it wasn't yeah. I mean, it goes down as a punt block, but it was special teams was great.
All
Um,
honestly, how good has our special teams been in this year? Quietly,
it's been awesome, and I know Ryan Day has made this a project. It's been a couple year project for him. It's been fantastic. In fielding, like a couple weeks ago, hit his career long in field goal. Special teams is firing in all cylinders. They're kind of peaking at the right time, and it's funny. It's late November last year. Like Caleb Downs had the punt return touchdown. This was a week before the Indiana game because week Indiana game was like the second to last game.
this would be the Indiana week this week.
Yes. So we're a week ahead of schedule, but Buckeyes are really peaking at the right time on special teams. Offensively, it like it just it the Ohio State's so loaded with talent, man. Like I know Jeremiah was a little banged up, Carnell didn't play, but the young guys like Quincy Porter, Bryson Rogers, the young backs, they showed out.
Miley Graham's got to be more consistent, I think.
They, yeah, I agree there.
I,
And
but we gotta address the elephant in the room. Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, half of Twitter's freaking out. We're playing it cool because I think they're both going to be back next week
yeah, I'm not worried.
for the game. I have no doubts. I thought maybe just by the looks of it, I without knowing after talking to a few people that we know, I thought it was going to be this week that Carnell Tate would be on the pitch count and Jeremiah was going to be out. But it sounds like both of them are for sure going to be out this week, and then next they'll be ready for the Michigan game. I'm 100% ready to believe that both of them will be ready for the Michigan game. But
So
not knowing what we know now about Carnell Tate, I thought Sunday morning when I was thinking about this before, I went around bugging around and asking. I thought it was going to be similar to last week where Carnell Tate would be on the pitch count and Jeremiah Smith would be out. But now, obviously, with the week going in, it sounds like both of them going to be out. But
it's I'm literally not worried. It's Rutgers.
I'm not either.
Ohio State put it best. We could beat them with our third stringers. People were freaking about the Ryan Day press conference, how he was saying, "Oh, they're doing a great job getting healthy, working with the training staff. They're trying to get back on the field." AKA, like it's all coach speak. I'm the translator here. He's basically saying, "We don't need them. It's Rutgers. We're not risking injury. We have bigger aspirations. It's called a natty in beating Michigan. We need our guys at full cap at full health."
Well, it sounds like the way the talk has been, this team, these guys don't have a gold pair of gold pants, and they've never been to Indy to win a Big Ten championship.
Yeah,
So their goal is right now. Their number one focus is beating Rutgers.
but for the younger guys, it's such a great opportunity for them. For the Quincy Porters, for the Bryson Rogers, for the
Devin
Mylan Graham.
Sanchez.
These guys are high level recruits. They're better than anyone Rutgers has. And the Rutgers has some really good receivers. Their offense is actually really good. Rutgers, I want to give them credit there. Um, where Rutgers falls short, and this is kind of where we segue into Rutgers because the UCLA defensively that was a joke. They scored in some garbage time. I don't care about it. They did their job against UCLA. Great job. Let's put that to bed. Let's go get into Rutgers. What Rutgers does well is they're a really good spread offense. They have 1,000-yard back. They have three really good receivers. Their quarterback is arguably on the list of quarterbacks Ohio State would play. Probably three or four. Nico didn't even play. So, Ethan Kalamakis, 17 touchdown passes, 7 picks on the season. He has been sacked 29 times, so he will get sacked a good amount. He has 3 rushing touchdowns, can get it with his legs. Um, Rutgers, they have 3 really good receivers. KJ Dove is a 6'6" receiver. He is almost 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Ian Strong and DT Sheffield also really solid, 700 yards from Strong, 530 from Sheffield. And they all have, six, five, four touchdowns. Like it's they spread the ball around really well. It's offensively, Rutgers, they rank 35th in points per game, 44th in total yards per game, and 26th in passing yards per game. Love this challenge for the defense. It's a really good balanced offense. Um, I'm not saying it's the best offense Ohio State will play, but going into the game, I think this the Rutgers offense is honestly a little more dynamic than the Michigan offense. Believe it or not, we know what Michigan's going to do, but this Rutgers offense, coupled with Schiano throwing in these trick plays and these crazy wrinkles like he always does, it's going to be a good little test for the defense, which I'm excited for. But back to the young pups, like we were talking about the receivers. It's a great opportunity for them because Rutgers is terrible on defense. They are like one of the worst defenses in the country, man. Um, Statistically, they are 72nd in points allowed per game and 91st in yards allowed per game. Their pass defense is really weak. It's 122nd in the nation. And their run defense is 56th. So I think it's just a perfect storm for our guys because the young receivers, they're not going to get contested. They're going to have a chance to pad the stats, gain some confidence. It's going to be kind of like not like a spring game for them, but like a game like that. Like, hey, let's see for the future who's going to be having a good role next year. But Rutgers defense is good enough where it's going to challenge our offensive line on the rush running part. Where like, hey, getting West and Peoples and Bo Jackson and if CJ Donaldson plays involved, like if we break 200 on a 50 on the 56 rush rank defense, I think that's a great day. So it's a really good opportunity for this team, I think.
Yeah, this is going to be a game where Julian Sands is going to throw for like 250, 230, between 235, 255, four touchdowns in the first half, and he's going to be done. Um, I That's just my prediction. I think Ohio State. This could be working in Ohio State's favor if they Ohio State actually will want to. I think they're going to slow the game down.
Mhm.
They're going to throw the ball and they're going to establish some sort of running game and keep Rutgers off the field. You know, kill the clock. I look for this game to be a really short game. Get
I
out of
do
here.
too.
I get out of there healthy and get ready for Michigan. I haven't seen the spread line,
It was like
but
in the 30s. It was, and I respect Rutgers. I think they're a real solid team this
I
year.
don't think we cover.
I think that just yeah, I just think it's like over 30. I know we beat
Actually, I think we do.
they lost like they lost Rutgers lost to Minnesota. Ohio State beat Minnesota very badly. But I just like Rutgers is 5-5. There's like I just feel like they're better. They're a good 5-5 team. If that I wouldn't say good, but they beat
Oh, you should have beat
OU.
them.
They beat OU. They beat Miami. They beat Norfolk State. And then their schedule in the middle of the season was just it was tough. It was Iowa, Minnesota, Washington, Oregon, like four straight losses. They beat Purdue. Then they lost to Illinois. They beat Maryland. They are who they are. Like they're good. They're fighting for bowl eligibility. They're not going to win this week, but Penn State next week. That might be a battle for who goes to a bowl game. Because Penn State, if they win this week, it would be uh, I believe two, 5, and 6 teams going at each other. So Rutgers, solid for Rutgers, I would say. It's not like it's a competent. I've watched a lot of Rutgers football in my life. It's a competent Rutgers football team compared to other teams. It's not as bad as the record shows. Like if you gave this team the schedule that other teams have had, they'd be like an 8, 9 win team compared to what they got this year. It's just they
Yeah,
have a tougher schedule.
it's going to be a weird game, weird Saturday. Um, yeah, they're solid. They're going to run a lot of trick plays, but I still don't think they're going to score very much. I just think our defense is just so good, and I think our defense is looking to short. With the game being shortened and stuff. I'm just thinking our defense ain't going to give up hardly any scores. They might give up one. I
I
don't
think
think we. I don't think we cover. I mean, I don't think we cover.
it's a lot.
But
Like it's a lot. Like I think Rutgers will score in garbage time. I think they'll get like 2 touchdowns, believe it or not. I think their offense is competent enough where if we have young guys playing late, I'm not saying they're going to score against, when Downs and Iggy and Jermaine and our first, the starting D line's healthy.
Also depends how fast this game goes. We got to watch the game flow. See,
It'll be
and
good.
I expect Ohio State to slow it down, get out healthy, and get ready for that team up north.
I,
That's why I say I don't think we're going to cover, but it's going to be one of those blowout wins where I have them winning 35-7.
I have I have 42-17, and I think Rutgers will the three-headed monster at receiver plus their back plus their quarterback when Ohio State will get out to a lead. I expect I expect it's really going to be Peoples and Isaiah West this week. I think those two guys. I think we're going to kind of hold Bo Jackson back too a little bit. I because Isaiah West, I don't know how much we're going to trust him against Michigan, believe it or not. And I know it sucks to say because we all like him, but I think they're gonna. I think that's a CJ Donaldson game. Like we need a tough guy to get a yard. We're gonna use Donaldson. West, I think this is hey, you're gonna have to carry the load, and this is like West and Peoples both couple touchdowns. But I think when we pull the starters, or for like when like the Bo Atkinsons of the world are in, and the Peyton Pierces and like borderline starters, and like this Devin Sanchez is in. I think Rutgers will be able to muster a touchdown drive or two. I think we will bust a coverage with those guys in because they're three-headed monster. They offer those receivers have a really good skill set, I believe, like that trio. Because you got a big guy, you got a fast guy, they can do a lot of stuff. So I see some garbage time touchdowns from them.
I really don't. Like, I think our second team is wanting to shut them down. Like, I think they're trying to redeem themselves, and they don't have blazing speed. So I don't think they're going to beat us deep and burn us. Um, but I think Ohio State also shortens the game with a lot of RPOs, winding the clock. I just don't think there's going to be enough time for them to score 17 points, like you have. But hey, stranger things have happened. I mean, 2020, they came out and we had a weird game against them in 2020. So stranger things definitely have happened.
Well, and then in 2023, that was a good game because Rutgers, it was they were up 9-0 at halftime. Remember that? And everyone was
Mm-hmm.
freaking out. And the game ended up being 35-16. Ohio State scored 14 points in the third, 14 in the fourth. Rutgers only scored 7 in the fourth. So and that's when they had Monungai. So but it's a passing offense now. It's not like they're gonna hand the ball to Monungai and he's just gonna just carry the offense consistently.
Yeah, as a
Um,
Bengals fan, that still gives me nightmares.
he's I don't know how he fell to the seventh round, man. That was crazy to me that he fell to the seventh round after watching him play like that against Ohio State. Like if Ohio State fans were drafting, we he would have went at least in the fifth round. Um, but yeah, I respect Rutgers. I don't don't expect the Michigan State performance this week, guys, where Ohio State puts up 49 nothing in the first half. It's gonna be another get in, get out. The haters are gonna hate. They're gonna have some beat writers just saying, I didn't watch any Julian saying this week, but had
He hasn't watched
250
much Julian Sane all year.
yeah, that 250 yards against Rutgers, and they they're not gonna understand the context or what Ohio State's trying to do. So don't listen to those beat writers after the game. Just Ohio State's doing what they got to do. Um, it's not gonna be pretty. It's a big noon game. It's gonna be big noon.
Big names in Cincinnati, while Gus and Joe are in Columbus.
it's
That's hilarious.
no, it is because it's like the big noon game. It's at night. It's BYU Cincinnati, and then the Rutgers Ohio State, like no one cares about, and that's where they're at. It's actually comical. And honestly, BYU Cincinnati is probably one of the best games of the weekend too.
It might be the best game of the weekend.
It honestly, it's
That gauntlet in the SEC, man.
Ooh, you want to read that schedule real quick? I have that. Let me pull it up. It is,
It's
man,
brutal, man.
you're a fan of college football. This is a real treat. Um, honestly, Cass, I have a proposition before I read this off. Instead of week zero, the SEC should make this week zero. So instead of getting the Dublin game or like the Hawaii Stanford game or whatever, they just do this week zero. First game, number three A&M, and they play Stanford. New
Samford,
Stanford,
Samford,
Samford. Yeah.
Samford.
Second game, this is actually a good one. I'll give him this. This is probably other best game of the weekend. Number 22 Missouri at number 8 Oklahoma.
How is
New.
Missouri still ranked?
I don't know. But if Oklahoma loses that, they're out. So watch out there. Um, 12:45. I don't know why they put it at 12:45. Just make it noon or 1. Charlotte at Georgia. It's gonna be a massacre. At 2, we got Eastern Illinois at number 10 Bama. Massacre. We got Mercer at Auburn at 2. Massacre.
Keep in mind, Mercer has the higher rate, has the better win loss total.
That's actually hilarious. We have Kentucky going to Vanderbilt at 3:30 on ESPN. That could be a keep your eye on it. That could be like an upset I could see happening. That's like the only questionable one if like Kentucky comes to play and like upsets Vanderbilt. And this one too could be also be an upset. Um, Arkansas at Texas. Um, don't be surprised if Arkansas somehow wins that. I don't know how, but like I wouldn't shock me. This one would be a hilarious upset if it happened. It's not, but it's Coastal Carolina at South Carolina. If that happens, you gotta fire Shane Beamer. And we got this is how you know it's a bad week in college football. We got number 20 Tennessee at Florida, 7:30 p.m. That is horrible. I mean, it's just I don't understand how Tennessee's ranked. Florida's just been terrible. And then the final game of the night, 7:45, Western Kentucky at LSU. Um, don't sleep on the Hilltoppers, man. They're 8-2, second in Conference USA. Um, what if they just do the unthinkable? Like, could this be like a Troy moment for LSU?
It'd be hilarious.
If the
I doubt it though.
SEC loses two of those games, you gotta fold the conference.
Right, right. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. But we know what next week is, rivalry week. Real
It
quick,
is.
the Ohio State give you an update. Ohio State men's basketball is up by 40 with 10:52 to go in the game. I still haven't watched much of them, but I do still have followed them. Maybe they won't break my heart because Jake Diebler's cooking right now in recruiting. So
He is. He's gotten since the modern era or like in history, he's gotten the two of the top 10 recruits this week of all time for Ohio State. He's done a phenomenal job. I actually went. I brought Troy to his first basketball game Sunday against Notre Dame. It it's funny because the people who haven't been around the program, they're kind of watching it and be like, "Oh, it feels so much different. It it feels the atmosphere felt so much better." And I'm like, it felt basically the same. I'm not gonna lie, but it was awesome watching them fight. Notre Dame was a big like a 9 point underdog or something in that game, and Notre Dame was leading at half, and they had some good leads, and like the basketball team just kept clawing back. Bruce Thornton literally willed the team. He's leading the Big Ten in scoring this year. By the way, he is, and by the way, Indiana fans, I'm keeping the same energy. I know how you guys are, coming at Ohio State because we're like a football school and your basketball team's hot. When the basketball Buckeyes get hot, and if we're ranked, and Bruce Thornton's leading the Big Ten, I'm gonna treat him like our Fernando Mendoza. Like I will, I'm keeping the same energy. But Bruce literally carried the team to a win there. Like he was just when the offense was struggling, he was just taking the ball, doing it himself. Mobley was hot and cold. Christoph Tilly with the game winner. That was awesome. I was like, he made it, and I was freaking out because there was like 5 seconds left. I'm like, please don't like D up, don't let him hit the shot to win at the buzzer. And like normally most other Ohio State teams would give that up.
If I was there, Notre Dame would have won.
Yeah, I know. And I was like watching it with Troy, and like we were about to leave, and I was holding him up, and he was watching, and then like he missed. I was like, all right, thank God, great win. But it was a great win for the team. I'm not gonna get cocky and be like, oh, we're gonna be going Final Four or anything like that. But it was a really good program win. Diebler's doing a great job so
Also
far.
November.
Also November, but they're gonna be 5-0 looks like after tonight. Um, and that is 1/4 of the way there. If you get 20 wins, you should be in the tournament usually. Just can't lose any like bad losses. So
Oh, they're coming.
I will say they were doing this. I mean, look, there were a lot of typical. These are Ohio State basketball like mistakes that they were making. So I'm like I'm not fully like let's grain of salt. Embrace being undefeated for now. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Embrace it, support them. But Debo's doing a very good job. I'm very, very happy. Um, and then they have Pitt on Black Friday. That's a big one. That's the big one.
Yeah.
If
Last year we lost the Pitt. We have to beat Pitt because last year we lost the Pitt on Black Friday and we ended up losing to that team up north on the road. So we'll see. Big shout out this week. We got a next Monday,
Mhm.
huge for the website, huge for the website. Uh, Live from Hoggies Barbecue on Bethel Road. First live show, the Silver Bulletin live show with me and Blake Biscardi. Dan's gonna pop in. We got Brandon Bowen coming in. Legendary coach Jack Johnson, who coached under Woody Hayes, coached with Jim Tressel, and coached at Pickerington High School, built the Pickerington High School team. You'll catch that on the red stream of Fairfield County Sports Network. I want to give a shout out to Steve Rao, who I've been working with for the last 4 years with Fairfield County Sports Network, allowing us to use the website to do this live show. That way, if this is so successful, which I think it will be, the Silver Bulletin can invest in our own equipment, our own streaming, and do a live show, a weekly live show, and then do a on-site live show for some big games. Talking to Blake, it sounds like if this is very successful, we're coming back to Hoggies in the spring for the spring game, and then we'll go from there. With the big games next year, we really got to break them down because we got Texas, we got Oregon, we got USC and Michigan, obviously. But big thing happening Monday night, and we're so excited to have that on the network. And
I'm pumped to be hopping on for a little bit with you guys. I know you guys have some major guests. I'm excited to talk the game. It's gonna be just programming note for everyone. It's gonna be since it's like the podcast is also teaming up with Blake and Silver Bulletin for this one. That's gonna be our episode this next week. So like make sure to tune into that one. We'll probably I'll probably post the audio on Bunch of Nuts like as our RSS feed.
so if you are a YouTube subscriber, there will be no YouTube show next week. But there will be a live show on Fairfield County Sports Network on the Red Stream, and then we'll pull the audio, throw it on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes. So you'll still get the podcast. The podcast is still going to be in video form and everything. It's just going to be on the Silver Bulletin. And then we just go back. It's the game. It's just because it's the game, man. You gotta do a live show. We gotta change it up. We've been doing it the same way for so many years, and it hasn't been successful because we keep losing. So we're gonna change the format and we're gonna win the game. That's the plan.
That's the plan. That's the plan all along. On
Heisman.
that, Heisman. Yes, we released our Heisman rankings this week. Man, I had a heck of a time with the graphic this week, and
Oh, dude.
I'm blaming Chat GBT for this because for my backgrounds of my posts, I use Chat GBT, and then I say, here, this one for some reason I was just rushing. here. I was like, I just gave him the words, and I had the words correctly every time, but ChatGPT kept screwing it up. So finally, I was like, you know what? Just give me the background, and I'll spell them myself. And finally, after the fourth or fifth try, I got it right.
It was so funny. I'm like about to post it. He sent it. I'm like, no, this name's spelled wrong.
And
No,
I
this
swear,
it was Jeremiah Love was spelled wrong because it was like his name's with the Y, and then it was Germano Mendoza was the what did ChatGPT call for an animal? Germano Mendoza. I died. Um, I might call him from that. But our Heisman rankings cast. I know we posted them. Let's touch on them real quick. I like ours are basically pretty similar. Let me pull it up. You start with yours because we both had say number one. I know we're highly biased. I don't care.
I
And
mean, I had Julian saying number one. He's obviously the best quarterback in the country. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah,
Just um
ditto.
uh but I also throw in a fact, and we also have number two, and we have number
Jeremiah
three.
Love.
We have one, two, and three correct, the same. We both
I,
have Jeremiah Love at two, who, all honesty,
he,
you
he, he
if he wasn't a running back and he was a quarterback, he'd probably be the front runner.
he's
Because if you,
peaking at the right time. His spin touchdown to like against Pitt last weekend was so sick. He is, and they were showing his highlight reels. It's some of the craziest highlights I've ever
yeah,
seen. Like it's
and
like Kayvon Austin level stuff. His highlights. I just want to say that it's
if you take Jeremiah Love off of Notre Dame, they're not a playoff team.
if you put Jeremiah Love on like an SEC team, he's running away with the Heisman. I just
Oh
want
yeah,
to.
for sure.
We put
Fernando
Mendoza at
Mendoza, we have the
three.
three.
Great story. Great story. He's not the best player in college football. He's
No.
playing great. He's elevating Indiana, but we're gonna find out in Indy real quick. I
And
guarantee.
then I have Ty Simpson. You have Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
I just think Ty Simpson, you take him off of Bama, they're not a playoff team. They may not even be a playoff team with Ty Simpson. So, but he's playing great. You can't deny what Ty Simpson's done on the field. And then I have Jeremiah Smith, who is the best player in college football, who should be ranked number one. But since
My,
he's a wide receiver, matched up with Carnell, Tate, and Julian saying he's going to be at that
my argument for
ranking.
Jeremiah Smith is just yes, you can take him off Ohio State, and we're still a playoff team, but we're not a national championship team without Jeremiah Smith,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
and that's why he's got to be in the high.
Yeah.
He is someone that he won't make you a playoff team, but he can make you a national championship.
And then
That's how special he is.
and then you had Caleb Downs as your number five. I like. I also like the kid from the Rodriguez kid from Texas Tech
Yeah,
too.
no, that's a good pick. I just with Caleb, I'm like he's the best player on the best defense. He's our leader.
Yep.
This is a historic defense. I don't know why he's not getting his flowers, and he's recording picks too. He has multiple picks this year, and he's making plays. He had the game-winning pass breakup against Arch Manning in Texas. He's had some moments. Um, I just don't understand why Caleb Downs is getting no love when like Aiden Hutchinson a couple years ago was like the second coming of Christ. It's ridiculous. And it's just that's all I got, man. And rant. Well, we will see everyone at Hoggies on Monday. We got about a
I'll
minute
be at
here.
the shoe on
Castle
Saturday for
Shoe.
senior day.
It's gonna be great. Go Bucks, beat Rutgers, stay healthy. Thank you for
See you
watching.
at Hoggies.
See you at Hoggies.